Hello, happy Thursday. It is time for another week of Caitlin's Music City Skinny, and I am back in my normal place again this week, not in New York City anymore, but it was the most amazing trip. So today's topic is going to be 5 holiday decorating tips for small places. Ugh, still excited, I can't talk. And, being that I was in New York last week, there were a lot of really tiny, small spaces. So even though you may not be located in New York, maybe you are in a smaller condo, or maybe just the room that you're decorating is a little bit smaller than what you would hope for. So how do you decorate for the holidays is something that we're going to dive into today. So number 1 is going to be keep it simple. So as you may know, in a small space, it's better to just have the least amount of clutter as possible. So you want to keep it simple when it comes to your decor. You don't want to all of a sudden bombard the space with Christmas decorations. And one of my favorite things to do around the holidays is to watch the Great Christmas Light Fight on ABC. My favorite Christmas movie of all time is Christmas Vacation, where Clark decorates the whole house. So I love to watch Great Christmas Light Fight just to see what it is that people do. And actually where I'm from in Richmond, Virginia, people, there are a good amount of homes that go absolutely bananas. Anyways, I'm getting on a tangent about Christmas lights. But all of that to say, some of these people on the Great Christmas Light Fight will also decorate the entire inside of the house. And it's just filled, every nook, every cranny, every wall, every space is Christmas. And that is literally the exact opposite of what you want to do. So how do you keep it simple? Well, of course, one of the most festive pieces of Christmas decor is going to be the Christmas tree. So you want to have a Christmas tree, but if you want to keep it simple, either opt for getting maybe a smaller one that can fit on a table of some sort, or opt for a thinner tree. So that way, it's going to take up less space in your smaller space. And you also want to think about using neutrals. So if you use too many colors, it's going to make the space feel really busy. And when you're trying to decorate a small space anyway, you want to try and go with the neutrals. So think about the winter whites, the golds, the silvers. Now, you want to also create an ambiance. So candles are a really great way to do that. Now, if you have pets like I do, maybe you opt for the fake candles versus the real ones because, tails can hit it and they can go. And we're not trying to start a fire this Christmas season. So think about candles. They are going to be a way to make your space feel festive and cozy, but without adding too much clutter to your space. And you also want to think maybe you don't have a ton of extra space for things like garland and lights. So those candles are really going to be a way that you can get that festive feel in your space without going overboard. Now, one other thing to think about with those candles is think about, ones that are in pretty silver jars or gold jars, just a way to again, still try to bring in that little holiday sparkle, again, without going overboard. Number 3 is going to be chunky linens. So go ahead and swap out linens and blankets with cozy, comfy textures. So one thing that I think is a really great idea is maybe your bedroom's not as big as you want it to be. One great way to make it feel festive is to get the festive bedding. I know that At Home has a lot of festive bedding right now. So think about getting the buffalo checked bedding, or even if you don't want to do the whole bedding, you can get festive pillows to throw in the space that again won't really clutter it up, but it will still bring that festive feel into your space. Number 4 is going to be festive framed artwork. So this is a really simple, easy way to bring that festive feel into your space. So think about maybe you go on Etsy or online and you print out photos from your favorite movie, you frame them, you put them on the wall. Maybe you get some printouts of your favorite Christmas Carol quotes and you frame those. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be super easy, just going to Michael's, grabbing a frame, putting whether you want the quote or the photo in it, and just hanging it up. I know that one of my favorite things to do at Christmas is to go to Frosty's Pub at Gaylord Opryland here in Nashville. And this is exactly what they do. And it just gives you that wonderful feel. They put up frame posters and frame pictures from all the holiday movies like Christmas Vacation, Elf, Home Alone, all of it. And it's simple, but it makes an impact. And it's also a great way to keep the clutter out of your smaller space. And then number 4, you want to bring the outdoors in. So you're going to want to think about evergreen, I literally can't talk today. You're going to want to think about evergreen clippings. There's Astro Man. I had a feeling he would try to make a return. You have evergreen clippings, berries, birch logs, all of those you're going to want to consider. And I mean, it's super easy. Like you can even combine that with the candle idea, get a couple of clear votives, fill it with the berries and the evergreen twigs, and then put the candle on top. You can put it in water. It's very festive looking without, again, being A, expensive, or B, too over the top and too cluttering your space. Also think about a birch log where you can lean it against a corner or, put it into a basket, just something. Again, these are just like simple, easy ways to be festive with, again, without cluttering your space and without going overboard. As your man, come here. You want to say hi? Say hello. Say I'm here. Say I'm pretty festive. Yeah. So those are going to be my 5 tips for trying to make a festive space or trying to make a smaller space feel festive. And one thing, again, that I saw all over New York was lights. So like whether you want to frame your window and string lights or, if you really want to get crazy, one thing that I saw everywhere was they would hang actual ornaments from the ceiling, but that could get a little bit complicated. But again, these are just all things that I saw in New York that go along with just trying to make your smaller space feel really festive. I literally can't talk today. That's okay. I'm super excited about everything going on. So that is going to conclude this week's episode of Caitlin's Music City Skinny. I hope that everyone has a really fun weekend. And if you have any tips of your own for decorating a smaller space, feel free to just leave them below. And I hope that everyone has a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week.